Hi, my name is David Hallett, and I'm from Solid Foundation Realty. I'm here to talk to you on my new real estate video blog about the San Diego real estate market. And I have a chart here, or several charts that I think you might find interesting. This first is the San Diego resale detached home chart. And I apologize, I hold this up so you can hopefully get a good view of it as best you can. This has several tiers, and I'll talk you through it where you can see it from as the video progresses. There's the lower price tier, which is under $311,000, represented by the red line. The mid-price tier, represented by the yellow line, which is from $311,000 to $466,000, and the high price tier, which is over $466,000, which runs along this blue line. What's critical here, and what I want to talk to you about, is this represents the prices since the trough, which is in approximately May of 2009. Although the bottom for each of the respective markets, each of the respective home prices was at different times. The trough, in other words, the bottom of the market, appeared to be roughly similar at about May of 2009, represented on the graph by this line over here. What's important to note is from that time period, if you follow the red line, which is the low price tier again, which is $311,000 and under for detached homes, in the past year, this cuts off at about March of 2010, we show a 14% year-over-year increase. Now, if you look along the midline, this again goes up, and we're seeing approximately an 8% year-over-year. Now the high tier mark, which again is over $466,000, runs along this line, which you see it started to climb up and then it battered back down and languished along this line here, but ultimately it looks like at the end of the year it's also going to be around an 8% increase. Now if you look on this second chart, this is the San Diego resale detached home prices. Again, these are for detached homes. Colors are still represented by the same. We have the red line, which is the low price tier, the yellow line, mid-priced, and the blue. Now this is the prices since peak. Now the peak is obviously way over here. Now when you look down across the red line, you get down and see that when it troughed, which is in May of 2009, it was down approximately 45% from the peak. Now across the yellow line, we end up at now currently being approximately 35% off of peak, and at the high price range we're seeing approximately 30%. So there's been some big movements in the San Diego market, as many of you are aware. Now the question is, what does this mean for you as a buyer or seller, and how can Solid Foundation Realty help? The important thing to note is that we don't know where the market's exactly going to see. We've seen some major improvements going forward. Now, whether this was stemmed largely from the federal tax credit followed by the state tax credit is hard to determine yet. We're looking for the next Case-Shiller outlook to give us a good indication of whether the volume and the sales and sales prices mirror that was a short-term blip based on these incentives. Nonetheless, we've seen a significant price progression along this line for those home prices in all categories. So what I'd like to do is, if you're interested in learning more as a buyer or a seller on what Solid Foundation can do for you and how these statistics can play on how you list your property and how you price a property, or on the reverse, how you effectively use these statistics to pursue a property, please give me a call. Again, my name is David Hallett. I can be reached at 619-665-1301 or at hallett@gmail.com, and there'll be more information about my firm following this screen. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.